This morning, we have in the studio the President of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, Engineer Ali Rabiu, a fellow of the Nigeria Society of Engineers, to discuss the Lagos building collapse. Good morning and welcome to the Network News, Engineer Rabiu.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians.
How did your council, as a body of professionals, view the 21-story building collapse in Lagos?
Well, let me start by commiserating with the families of those who lost their lives in that very unfortunate and avoidable incident. As professionals in the build industry, I must say that we are very worried that such a massive failure would occur, in Lagos. As COREN, we are surprised that Lagos, which we have termed over the years as a center of excellence, has experienced this unfortunate incident. And we have always believed that professionals, particularly engineers in Lagos, can survive without government patronage because of the massive infrastructural development going on in Lagos by private concerns. It is a theme of surprise to us, and we are worried that it happened at all.
Well, the Lagos State government has ordered investigation into the collapse and suspended the general manager of the Building Control Agency. What is the implication of these steps?
Well, I think it's a right step in the right direction because the Building Control Agency is responsible for regulating building and construction generally in Lagos, and for free investigation to be carried out, the general manager needs to step aside. And so I think it's a right step in the right direction, and the investigation should not only stop at the collapsed building, it should be escalated to the neighboring buildings because of the vibrations that may have occurred due to the impact of the collapse of that building.
What do you think was the cause of the collapse of that building?
Well, I do not want to speculate because for you to be able to determine what caused the collapse, there are investigations that have to be carried out. And as COREN, we are a regulator of engineering practice in Nigeria. Our word is usually final. So if I speculate and it turns out not to be so, we would have failed in our responsibility.
Well, there have been back and forth information that it was supposed to be a 15-story building, it was made 21 and all that.
But the Deputy Governor of Lagos State has confirmed, and I think we want to agree with him, or we have no reason not to believe him, that the approval was for 21-story.
Okay. Now, time and time again, professional bodies have threatened sanctions against sharp practices leading to such incidents to serve as deterrents. Why are they still recurring?
Well, I want to say, Nigerians have a propensity for disobeying rules and regulations, and because sometimes they tend to flout that they have connections in high places. Beyond that, we also have the issue of high cost of building materials, cement, iron rods, and so on. And people tend to want to maximize profit and cut corners. These are some of the reasons why I believe they use low quality materials, poor quality materials rather, and the result is usually a failure.
Before we let you go, let us tell us a bit of the Clean Energy Certification Scheme for young professionals. What is it intended to achieve?
Well, COREN is collaborating with the GIZ and the NESP and the Energy Support Group to train young professionals in clean energy. One of the biggest problems in this country today is, power supply. And for businesses to grow, for businesses to thrive, you need power. And we have to collaborate with these agencies to look at other alternative sources of power which are cheaper, which are cleaner, and which are environmental friendly for the benefit of our country.
Thank you. But before I let you go once again, what must we do to end collapse of buildings in Nigeria?
We should use professionals who have been trained to carry out these jobs. Nigerians don't use professionals. They rather build themselves. We have had a lot of stories surrounding this particular 21-story building collapse, but I don't want to go into those because for me, they are still in the realms of...
Are you saying professionals were not being used in that building?
Appropriate professionals, yes, were not being used. If you use a graduate structural engineer of 3 years, for instance, 3 years, to build to do a structure 21-story building, high-rise, you may not be using the appropriate professional. There are more experienced structural engineers that can handle
which are?
Sorry?
More experience?
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of practice, years
Okay.
of practice and hands-on practice.
We'll leave it there for today. We have been speaking with the President of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, Engineer Ali Rabiu, on the Lagos building collapse. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.